next we're going to Jacques Picard. The label on the Jacques Picard is going to change. By the time it gets into the market, we're going to have a label which is going to be much more Canadian looking. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This comes from the Montagne de Reims, only it's a standalone mountain of the Montagne de Reims. It is the most eastern facing, it's the most eastern mountain. It's literally a little chalk hill, which is sort of a precursor to the Montagne de Reims. And it's very eroded on the slopes. And the chalk is much more exposed than the Montagne de Reims on the slopes. And here you really have a majority chalk soil with hardly a dusting of clay over it. The other thing that you need to know about this is that this was the demarcation line between the Germans and the French for a long time. That goes back to the 1870 Prussian War, where they got totally bombarded. They got absolutely almost flattened during the 1418 War, First World War. And hence this vineyard site was practically non-existent until they replanted in 1945. In 45 they started replanting, and a lot of the vineyards on this mountain are from 1945 and not been replanted since. So you got a good majority of old vines here. The other thing you need to know is that there's only really 2 independent producers on this mountain. And you're on the most eastern part of Champagne here, really facing Germany, eastern slope. Jacques Picard, the winemaker's name is José Liévin, is probably one of the most eloquent winemakers in Champagne I know of in terms of explaining to you what's done. He's convinced the entire mountain to go with what we call confusion sexuelle, which is pheromone diffusers, in order to have no more pesticides. So they're 5th year running of pheromone diffusers, so no pesticides, no sexual confusion. Yeah, sexual confusion. I did say so. And these pheromone diffusers basically screw with the insect spraying, and they can't tell which one's a female, which one's a male. They try indiscriminately both and fail. And no, well, there's still bugs with sexual confusion. You just have less rates of reproduction. This guy's running the whole gamut from practically organic growing to use of branches in the 1 out of 2 rows, to tilling where it's necessary, and so on and so forth. Really, really proactive winemaker here, and great grower. You have a majority Chardonnay here, but it's not the Chardonnay from the Côte des Blancs. Here your Chardonnay has a richness, and this richness comes from the fact, not so much the subsoil, as it comes from the fact that it's an eastern-facing slope with that full day of sun. And literally, I mean, from early morning all the way to that evening, that vineyard gets the sun. And it is kind of representative of what a Chardonnay, or a majority Chardonnay wine, is on the mountain of Reims. It has that extra power. Oh, that's creamy. That's creamy, creamy, creamy on the palate. This guy also puts 10% of his production in wood. And these are 2nd to 5th vintage barrels that he buys exclusively at Latour and Verdun. And he actually follows each barrel until he purchases it. It's like it's marked out for him. 10% of the entire production goes to wood. And it's 2 vintage to 5 vintage old barrels. I speak in vintages because it's not truly a year. But an élevage is about 16 months, so you go beyond a year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 I love this one. Hopefully we'll get the package that goes with the wine finally. One of of the reasons why it's sometimes very hard for us to negotiate a new packaging with the wine, because these are family productions, and in this particular case, the winemaker is married to one of the daughters, and the son of Jacques is the guy who does the vineyards. So the responsibilities are not shared. I mean, they discuss a lot of stuff between each other, amongst themselves, but the Picard side of the family was kind of wanting to keep the same type of labeling as the father had developed. And there's a little bit of a clash, even though José, who's the winemaker, is more of a commercial person as well, and the one who travels and so on and so forth, and he really felt that there needed a new packaging. Finally, I was able to convince these guys this year that could we have a special labeling for the American market only? And that got
Good compromise.
yeah.